Jeff's team finally got a win. Look at that.
We'll have to go through our bet now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wanted to put my sleeper pick on Andy Dalton so bad for the Carolina to win, but I just couldn't do it, and I still lost the lock. So, like
Yeah.
yeah.
last week's lock for me, I picked the Rams and the 49ers, and the Rams
Hey,
won.
you talked up the 49ers so much. Like, oh, there's no way they
Yeah.
can lose.
There is
We
like
were
how
talking about that the sleeper pick, like mine against Isaac's, because
Yeah.
you said the 49ers, and both of ours lost anyway. And I
Yeah.
said who, the Bucks, and you're like, well, either way, they're both locks. They both
Yeah.
lost.
I know,
Like-
and I'm pretty sure Jeff lost too.
My loss lost, but my sleeper at least won. I knew the Packers would own the Titans.
Yeah, that's right. And then I did say I was choosing between the Giants as my sleeper. I should whatever that was.
There's the balloons. Happy birthday, Connor.
Whatever that was. Thanks, guys. I don't even know where that came from. Congrats.
I wonder if
That
it'll
was
show. If it doesn't show, we just saw balloons show up on
Yeah.
Connor's screen for some reason.
That was weird. But how did that work? That was okay. Anyway, that was just balloons for Jeff's sleeper win, because I think that was the
Yeah.
only win that we got
No.
all week.
Hey.
My lock lost too.
I'm gonna give you a spoiler though. We should have picked the Panthers because that was one of our picks for our actual games.
Nice. We
Yeah,
got
Wait,
it.
so we
picked the
actually
Panthers.
picked the Panthers.
Yeah.
Wow,
We actually picked the Panthers to beat the Raiders, so I was like, we did this.
that's crazy, guys.
Right.
Yeah, don't spoil it because I'm curious. I'm really curious, but I don't want it spoiled.
That's only one.
If for anyone tuning in that doesn't understand what we're talking about, we predicted every single game this summer. Like during the summer, we predicted every single regular season game before the season started. So Jeff tallies up all of our predictions and goes over them each week. So last week we actually didn't do too bad, even though there was still last week some surprises. But
They went 12-5, I think. 12
Yeah.
or 11-6, something like that.
11 and
12-5.
6, yeah.
so
Yeah, we did pretty well.
yeah, let's just jump right into it, guys. New England and New York Jets Thursday night game.
Yeah. This game was
for
a
anyone
snooze
that
fest
had-
for me, to be honest.
Sorry, was that Jeff?
This one was a snooze fest for me, but
Oh man, for whoever had Ramondre Stevenson on their fantasy team, like that sucks. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have any Ramondre, but man, that was tough.
yeah.
Yeah, Pats were my sleeper. Don't know why I chose that. But Pats were my sleeper. And to give myself credit, they did play pretty good in the last couple of weeks. They're a new team. But
Yeah, honestly,
I just didn't. I never believed in that sleeper just because like it's Aaron Rodgers' first game back in
yeah,
in
I guess so.
MetLife at home since his Achilles injury. There's no way he's losing that game, especially
that's
against the
fair.
Patriots.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's
I
a
saw-
sleeper pick, so I mean, it's
That's the
supposed to
reason
be
why I did it. It was
a
a
flyer.
sleeper pick. I also didn't buy into the Aaron Rodgers hype, but he looked good. Finally scored his first passing touchdown.
He finally did
in
something in
MetLife,
that
right?
game.
Finally, so they
My
looked all
sleeper
right.
didn't hit, guys. Arizona lost.
Yeah.
It was
What a-
close at least. It
Man,
was a close game.
dude, the first half looked so promising. Like I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
gonna be like the game of the year, and then like barely any points after that.
Yeah.
In the second half, it was like the most uneventful
Yeah.
second half ever.
I think we so far had the game of the year, though. We'll get to it Monday night. But
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
know.
I agree.
yeah,
That was
but
crazy.
you're right, Jeff. Snooze fest. Jets the whole way. They just looked dominant. They looked like what the Jets should look like, to be honest. So
Yeah.
What? Like, imagine this defense with Hassan Reddick. Like, imagine he was out there playing. Like, just pay the man. Like, that's a Super Bowl.
Oh my
like,
God.
That's a Super Bowl defense. If you got Hassan
Yeah.
out there,
Which I don't get why they traded for him, and then like you knew what he wanted before you
yeah,
got
you knew what he wanted. I honestly want the Cardinals to trade for him and throw him some money. Even the Panthers. Like, the Panthers have enough cap. Like,
We do,
bring him
but
home.
I feel like he's too old for us.
Yeah.
he wouldn't. He would just say no. He wouldn't go.
Yeah, like I feel like he'd be one of those like, yeah, I'm not coming here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you're probably
Antonio
not
Brown.
wrong. But this was Jacoby Brissett has yet to throw a single touchdown this year, which is kind of crazy.
I thought he got one in this game, or not this game, last game.
Unless I'm wrong, I
But-
don't think he has. I don't think he's thrown a touchdown. I could be
You might
wrong.
be right. 'Cause it might be like I feel like if he did, it was probably like Stevenson or something. But yeah, you're probably right to be honest.
I'm just curious on when they throw Drake May the keys for this team. Like, the
He did
offense
play
looks
though,
so scarce. Yeah, not till the end,
which
but
like I'm not saying you should like I don't know. It's kind of mean putting him out there when they're already getting destroyed, but
Mhm.
he did end up playing that game for at least like a quarter, I think, or something.
yeah,
I don't know.
I
I don't know
really
when he's gonna get the keys though. Like, if what's the point of rushing? They're not gonna be a Super Bowl team. They're not. They're not gonna
Yeah.
win the division. They're not
But
gonna.
what's the point of
I
throwing him
agree.
out there to the dogs like that? Like
That's what
when
I'm
you're
saying.
already
Like,
down,
Exactly.
why?
What's the point?
Either
Like,
commit
Yeah.
to him being the starter, or you just leave him on the sideline. Learn.
Exactly.
I honestly,
Let him learn.
I would leave him and let it develop.
Hmm.
Like there's no point rushing him. Get a better pick and build around it.
I agree.
I say we move to the Cleveland and New York game. I feel we had to have got this pick wrong because, as if the Giants pulled through here. Like that's nuts.
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors is him, man. Malik Neighbors made some insane catches in this game. Like every single time I looked at that game on Red Zone, it was Malik Neighbors just making like a hell of a play on the football.
Yeah,
know.
Malik Neighbors is single-handedly saving Daniel Jones' job,
Literally saving
GM's
it.
job there. So, like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous what he's doing. He made Daniel Jones look like a
Yeah.
good
Confident guy.
quarterback.
But realistically, though, like it kind of sets precedence for how important it is to have pieces around you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't expect like even Jacoby Brissett or Drake May in the Patriots offense. Like how do you expect these guys to throw the football to like three mediocre wide receiver threes? Like to expect that out of a quarterback that doesn't like excel, like he's not like a Josh Allen or like a Patrick Mahomes. Like Daniel Jones has always been like middle of the pack to like back of the pack for starting quarterbacks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
So
then why pay him all that money?
he
I
had a
think they
good
had
season.
to.
He brought them to the
No,
playoffs.
I think they had to. I don't think they had a choice because if you
And
don't
this
pay him,
contract's
you're
not
gonna
as
start
bad
over.
as this contract's not as bad as the Trevor Lawrence contract, in my opinion. Like
Well, not right now, no.
it's
Not right
$80
now,
million
but-
less.
But that's because of the time. Daniel Jones signed a good year before. Like I bet if Daniel Jones signed the same time as Trevor Lawrence, it probably wouldn't been in the same ballpark.
I feel like Daniel Jones is overhated. It's so easy to hate on him, but when you look at the Deshaun Watson fiasco, that's worse. That's flat out worse. $240 million guaranteed over 4 years for a quarterback who's performed the similar.
Okay, but listen,
No, but to be
listen,
fair, yeah.
dude. Daniel Jones has thrown more touchdowns to the other team than he has to his own team.
Not anymore.
Besides last game.
Not
last
anymore.
game. Yeah. So one
Like-
one outlier game to
But
Malik
when you
Neighbors.
have Wandale Robinson, like Kenny
Shouldn't
Galladay
matter.
when he was there, like there's no playmakers on that team. Like
no,
at
but
all.
like it should.
No, but
Well, a quarterback should be able to. Like, there's still NFL caliber players. Like, there's still receivers in the NFL. It's not like
I'm not
they're just-
arguing that Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. I just think he's overhated at this point. Is
I
he
think- yeah, I
overpaid?
think the
Yeah, but
media-
he's overhated, man.
I think the media ties into that, and everybody kind of just jumps on the hate wagon for sure. I could see that, but I don't think he's underrated. Like, I think he's fairly hated. Like, I think he's fairly rated. He's not a great quarterback.
Do you guys want to
needs
know
help.
a crazy stat? Trevor Lawrence has, over his career and over Daniel Jones' entire career, Trevor Lawrence has a lower quarterback rating than Daniel Jones over both of their careers. How to put it into perspective, like how is Daniel Jones not overhated? That's
I
not
think
being
the
talked
thing
about.
is that Daniel Jones. It's not that Daniel Jones is overhated. It's just that he plays in such a big market like New York that like if you're not like next level game changing kind of player, like you're gonna be a bust. Like it's just how New York teams work. Like every New York team requires that person to be like the star. So
Think
he's
about
not the
this.
star.
Yeah, think about this too, right? Eli Manning was hated, and he won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Eli
it's just
Manning
hard to
got
play in those
roasted.
big markets.
I think it's just a New York thing. Like Jeff's
Yeah,
right.
that's what I'm
It's just a
saying. I
New
think
York.
it's New York.
Because Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, and he was still
beat Tom
hated.
Brady, beat the GOAT, right? And
Yeah.
he was still hated. It's just
Yeah,
a New York
my
Giants
brother's a
thing.
New York Giants fan, and I remember like all the time when Eli,
He probably hated Eli.
yeah, he didn't. He's always talking about how like he'd be missing Odell on like back in the 2010s
Probably.
era.
Yeah.
You're not wrong there, but
Yeah. I think it's just the market, but I don't know.
Daniel Jones this game
He's
though he played a very clean game of football, and Deshaun Watson
exactly.
looked atrocious against a subpar New York defense. Brian Burns didn't even play,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he got sacked 6 times.
Yeah.
I know you. I
And
know
you know
you.
what's funny is that Deshaun Watson actually played better than he has the previous weeks. That's the funny part. Is that
Probably, yeah.
he was still bad, but he played slightly better, but he was still bad.
It was. I know the Jaguars aren't playing right now, but I just have to say it before I forget. Bill O'Brien came out and said that he isn't against benching Trevor Lawrence at this point,
Really?
Well,
which
he
is
said there's going to be
absurd.
big changes happening. Or,
Yeah, but who are you gonna bench him
or
for?
Doug
I can't even
Peterson
remember
said that.
who's the backup. I can't remember the
CJ
backup.
Mac Jones.
Bethard, CJ Bethard, or Mac Jones.
Oh my God,
It'd be,
no.
it'd be Mac. It'd be Mac Jones.
Yeah,
It'd
no.
be Mac Daddy Jones.
You kind of stick with what you got, unfortunately. Like,
I'll take Mac Jones. I don't even mind Mac Jones.
Dude, it's so easy for you to say when you have like Josh Allen on your
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
You're talking like you want Mac Jones. Like, what do you mean, bro?
Fate of the universe on the line. Give me Mac Jones.
oh no.
Oh man.
No, but I'm just saying, like, well, Trevor's been playing some pretty awful football.
He
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
atrocious, man. He plays with zero heart, zero desire. You know what it is though? He's always trying to do too much. Like he's like he'll have like his tight end wide open on like a 4-yard out, but he's trying to heave it down 40 yards to
Yeah.
Brian Thomas
Yeah.
on third and 5. It's
He's
like,
trying
bro,
to throw like a corner
Yeah, he
between
doesn't-
like a low safety and a high corner, perfect ball. Like
it's like, bro, just check it down. Just
Yeah.
check it down.
Yeah.
Get the
Reset the
first down,
downs. You know what I
I
mean?
didn't
Anyway.
think about that.
Anyway, Giants and Browns.
Good win for the Giants, man. I
Good
love
win
to
for the
see it.
Giants, yeah.
Yes, it was a good win.
All right.
This just before we move on, it's so crazy how good this Cleveland team looked last year with Joe Flacco and how subpar they look with $240 million PDF file Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like they
it's
should have
fine.
kept Joe Flacco or something.
It's crazy, man. It's nuts. Anyways, yeah, let's move on. This was also kind of a snooze fest. Amari Cooper finally came alive.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
in the
finally
Browns
did.
team, yeah, for sure. I mean, he's kind of
He has
really.
to. He's the only
that's-
guy there.
That's really all there is. I mean, Jared Judy's there, but
He's
yeah,
just a guy.
He's just a guy.
He's just a
As
guy.
Steve Smith said,
As
who
per
are you?
Steve Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
he
just
is
a
just a
dude.
guy.
He's just a dude.
He's just a dude.
Dude, that
He's
was the
just a
most. That
dude.
was the most like real, like just such a sly little dig, but it like set so much precedence because he's literally just a guy.
He's
He
just
is
a
just a
guy.
guy.
Man, you're just a
You didn't even
guy.
have to say anything else.
No.
Like,
And then he watched his tape, and then like
Yeah.
he's like,
right.
no, you know what, you're good. And then Jerry Judy said something, and then Steve Smith was like, nah, never mind, I take it back. You're just a dude.
you're just another guy, man.
You're just a guy out there running.
Let's move on to the Green Bay and Tennessee game.
Congrats,
Levis-
Jeff, on the sleeper.
Yeah, congrats, Jeff. You're so
What?
far in the winnings for the
I
sleeper
told you, this
block.
game made no
$60
sense when I
yeah.
saw it. I think
But man, how long until Will Levis like loses a starting job? Like,
oh no, he'll lose it instantly when Jordan Love's back. Like it's not even a question.
no, like Will Levis for Tennessee.
Oh,
Not
sorry.
Malik
sorry.
Willis, yeah.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I give him one more week. This is the last week.
Like, dude, he is playing atrocious football. Like,
You know what's
Yeah.
funny though about Will Levis is like he's playing bad football, but then there's kind of like my golf game. I play some pretty bad golf, but then there's moments where you're like, you know what? He makes plays. He does
Yeah.
make these random ass plays,
He does.
but then he just turns the game over. Like he loses.
Yeah.
He loses the Tennessee Titans football games. He doesn't. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was anybody
Yeah.
else playing quarterback, they win maybe 2 of those last games. He loses the games, and I don't know if I was a head coach or if I was if I was in charge of that football team, I don't know if I could keep watching Will Levis lose I mean, football games.
I kind of feel bad for him in a way because
In a
the
weird
same
way.
thing happened to Malik Willis. Like he was never given a fair shot, and I wonder if it just comes down to the Tennessee development. Like for the last decade or so, they've had Ryan Tannehill, and then they drafted Malik Willis, and then
Marcus Mariota before that.
before
Yeah.
that Marcus Mariota. Like, does it just come down to developing? Like they just don't develop quarterbacks very well?
I think so.
Because like Will Levis, like you said, Connor, he has shown flashes of like being great. He obviously does have talent. Like he does have a cannon of an arm, but I just wonder if it just comes down to like poor management, poor development, and also like this is a completely new revamped coaching staff, which doesn't help it the case in all sense.
Well,
But
kind of going with your point, like I agree with that because like look at Malik Willis was there for like literally like what 2-3 seasons, whatever length it was.
yeah,
And
2
he's done
seasons.
nothing there, and he's been in the Packers organization for literally a month, and he's a different guy.
Dude, he hasn't he hasn't turned the ball over. He's been throwing like he's been throwing like a great completion percentage, mind you. Like they're playing a very conservative offense.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
lot better
but
that's-
coaching.
But
But
that's
that's what you
that's
gotta
geared
do.
to
over in
him.
Green
That's
Bay.
geared
You
to
play with
how
what
he
you
plays.
have, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and
I feel
that's,
like
I think
Tennessee plays so like they try and build the quarterback to their mold instead of having the quarterback kind of like build to the quarterback's mold. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it's funny
that's
that
what,
Green Bay does
That's
that.
what the Ravens have done since Lamar Jackson's been drafted.
Yeah.
They cater to his game. That's even when Lamar was out in that postseason when Tyler Huntley was in. They did the exact same thing. They played. They kind of molded the offense to his game. I don't think Tennessee does that at all.
But
Oh.
it's funny because like you look at Green Bay, who's had what 3 quarterbacks in the last like 20 years. Like you went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, and now you have Jordan Love, and yet they still know how to play around a quarterback. Whereas a team like Tennessee has had X amount of quarterbacks over these years, and they still don't know how to.
Yeah,
They still don't know how to build around a quarterback. It's funny that way. It's weird.
It is interesting. I like as awful as Will Levis has played. I don't think it's all his fault, and it's very easy to like center him out as a scapegoat. I was talking like so much shit on him last week because he made the same mistake twice with that little pitch play that he did
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Horrible. But
Oh,
at the end of the day, I don't
yeah.
think it's all his fault, and I don't think Mason Rudolph is the answer here. You know what I mean?
No,
But
he's
I don't
not.
think
He's
there's
not
an
staying.
answer.
Yeah, he's
The
not
answer is
staying
in the
Titans.
draft.
Yep.
Also, another topic is Josh Jacobs. Like, he just doesn't look like explosive at all. Like, is he like coming down on a decline? Do you guys think?
You know what he reminds me of, in a weird way? Mark Ingram.
Mark
When
Ingram.
Mark Ingram had that one
Yeah.
crazy season, or he had a few crazy seasons, but then he just had a drop off, like a decline. He did like
Yeah.
his play style, not so much, but just like the path that his career is going. I don't think Josh Jacobs is gonna have. I don't know when it was. I think it was 2 years ago, when he had
Yeah.
that crazy. When he had a crazy season, he almost. I think he led the league, or he was up there in rushing yards. But yeah, I don't believe in Josh Jacobs. Isaac, to answer your question, I don't.
Then and it's interesting too because they drafted Marshawn Lloyd. Emmanuel Wilson's been getting it's been like a split backfield the last 2 games almost, and the way that Josh Jacobs' contract is in place, Green Bay can cut this contract off completely after this season. Like they're not even really tied. Like they'll leave with very very little dead money.
So kind
So-
of going with your point, like I don't think, like I agree, like I think Josh Jacobs is definitely on the decline, but I feel like they'll probably keep him out to his end of 2 years because like Matt LaFleur is like all about like a committee back kind of thing. So like he
Yeah,
likes
you're right.
rotating multiple guys. Like he's not gonna just throw him out because he's still a capable back. He's probably gonna lower his workload, but he's still gonna kind of keep him out there to at least do something because like the name alone kind of scares teams. Even though
I
he's
think
not
this
the same
offense
guy.
would have looked a lot better with Aaron Jones still there.
Yeah, but they didn't want to pay him money.
But
It
they
was
paid
more of
Josh
a
Jacobs
thing.
anyways, because Aaron
Yeah,
Jones is
but
getting
it-
paid less in Minnesota. I know.
Yeah,
I
but-
think it came down to injury history, but
I think
I was
so
gonna
too.
say, I feel like it's age too. Like, how old is like Josh
He's-
Jacobs is like,
I think Josh Jacobs is 26 and Aaron Jones is 29.
yeah.
He
I
does
think
have more mileage on him, but
Yeah,
They still have AJ Dillon though, don't they?
he's on
He's
the
there.
IR the
Yeah,
entire
but
He's
he's
on
season.
the
out.
IR, but like he's not a.
He-
No,
Yeah,
he's
Terrible running
cooked, dude.
back.
He's cooked.
he's out for the year.
Dude,
but,
he
yeah.
couldn't even make yardage in preseason. Like, he's so fried.
I don't know. I think he was a good second.
3
Back.
years ago, yeah, he was, but he's not the same man. Even last year, he had such an inefficient season.
Yeah, I guess so.
But
I think Lloyd's the future, to be honest, but he's just hurt, so they're just
Another-
going with
Wilson
what
looked
they
good
have.
last week.
Yeah.
another point, Green Bay secondary is so lights out, man. They might have like
Oh,
a top
they're-
3 secondary in the league.
I think so.
Like
They
there's
sacked Willis 8 times. Like, that's crazy to me.
yeah, their defense is looking good.
Yeah, no, they do. They look great.
On to the next game. This game, it sounded exciting on paper, but Chicago and the Colts, like, man, what a garbage game of football. Like, just
Yeah, this was bad.
Anthony Richardson hasn't shown a lick of promise other than that, like, one 65-yard throw off his back foot he made like week 2. Like, it's crazy, man. Caleb
keeps
Williams
turning the
threw
ball
for
over.
360 yards, which is good, but he didn't throw a single touchdown.
Oh, he threw 1
Oh, did he?
or 2.
Okay.
Sorry, he threw 2 this game.
He did throw 2?
Yeah.
Caleb Williams.
Kind of going off
Didn't
of
he
that.
throw?
pass.
He threw
He
for
threw
quite
to
a bit.
Rome and he threw to Cole Komet.
Yeah.
But I feel like he only threw
Okay.
this much because the running game was absolutely garbage, and they had no choice but to just air it out all game.
Also, they were down,
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, he had
They
two,
had- they had
two-
the other-
two- two touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
but
Yeah.
he threw for over 300, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
360 yards.
That's pretty good.
Which is
not
good.
bad.
But you're losing the game. You have to throw the ball.
Yeah, like he threw 52 times. Like,
This run, this O-line and their running offense is just absolutely atrocious. And Indiana's D-line's not even like anything spectacular.
no,
They
had
still couldn't get
injuries.
it moving. So,
Yeah, I mean, Indy's D line's not terrible. Their defense is like, I don't know. Indy's a weird team to play. They're a spotty team, meaning like you can catch them on a good day, catch them on a
Caleb
bad
Williams
day.
has been sacked 13 times this season already. That's bad, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Well, you know what they need to fix next year in the draft?
Okay.
Yeah, it was a win for Indianapolis, but it doesn't feel like it, to be honest.
Honestly, Jonathan Taylor's like carrying this team right now.
Mhm.
Like, he's had like back-to-back like 100-yard rushing games. Like, he's kind of making up for Richardson's like lack of play. Yeah.
He hasn't even looked like that deadly, like running it either. I think he's like trying to be like more poised in the pocket and try and make reads, but it's just not translating. But give it time. Hopefully he'll flourish. Same with Caleb Williams. I mean, these the NFL, it like runs like so fast, so like these teams just expect these guys to like be
Yeah, pick it up
a
right
CJ
away.
Stroud like right off the bat. You know what I mean?
No. And even CJ Stroud has said like numerous times, like it took him like week 4 before he really started to kind of get used to the speed. So like they'll get used to it. It's just
Takes
the
time.
growing pains of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, perfect segue. Houston, Minnesota. We got this pick wrong because we pretty much
Oh, God.
predicted Minnesota
Yeah.
to be one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah, once Minnesota
Yeah.
goes 17-0 or 16-0 this
Oh
year,
my
we're,
God.
we're cooked.
Sam Darnold's the next Dan Marino, apparently.
Apparently.
Okay, but
34 to 7.
Sam Darnold, and of course he's had some bad years. He was a top pick.
He
He was
was.
a higher pick. He is capable of doing this. He's in a good position. Am I shocked? Absolutely. But is this completely out of the blue? Is this completely like out
Historically
of
speaking,
human
no,
hit?
it's not, because you look at
Exactly.
quarterbacks like Joe Namath, you look at quarterbacks like even Brett Favre, you look at quarterbacks like Philip Rivers, you look at quarterbacks like Ben Roethlisberger. These guys didn't come in and make an instant impact. You know what I
No.
mean? Like
Even recently, like for example, like Josh Allen took
Baker
him 4 years.
Mayfield,
Yeah,
like
like there's
I also
guys
think
that
it's,
Jared Goff.
it's the organization, I feel like. It's like Darnold went from the Jets, who was horrible. He went to Carolina, another horrible like team. Then he went to 49ers, which like you can tell probably in the 49ers he started learning how to actually be an NFL QB.
or how to be a part of a proper organization.
Yeah,
How to be
exactly,
that kind of
right?
yeah.
And then he goes to the Vikings, which like whatever, they're not like they're a good organization. Like they know what they're doing up there, right? So
But as a quarterback, you're throwing to the best receiver in the NFL. That
Exactly.
helps.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then T.J. Hawkinson's going to come back.
Yeah.
Defensively,
Minnesota
they've
has
been
one of the
playing
best
some good
defenses
football.
in the league, bro.
Yeah, their
It's
front,
crazy.
their front
They're-
seven might be the
They're
best.
phenomenal.
Their front seven is ridiculous. They've been playing lights out. Their
Yeah.
offense is moving the ball. Aaron Jones looks better than he was,
Yeah, right.
And,
Versus a few years ago.
in Green Bay. I mean, they just seem like they all believe in each other. They just seem like they're buying into the Vikings' way of doing it, and they
Yeah.
look good. They're
Yeah.
definitely in my top 5, that's for sure. So,
Yeah.
Alrighty.
and then on the other side of that though, the 49ers.
Or Texans. What did the
Oh,
Texans
sorry,
do?
Texans,
Like-
not 49ers.
Like what happened to them in this game? Like I get Joe Mixon was out, but like, wow.
Is that a product of the Texans' offense just completely shit in the bed, or is that a product of the Vikings' defense being that good?
I don't know.
Like it's
Yeah.
like it's a new Vikings team. It
Yeah.
couldn't be. I don't know.
I wonder what happens with JJ McCarthy now.
I know.
What
Oh,
if
he's
Sam
benched.
if Sam Darnold comes out, plays like this the whole season, hypothetically speaking.
God.
They're not
I'm
they're
benching
not
him.
coming in JJ
No.
McCarthy next season. They're not messing with that.
They
you
can't.
know?
They can't.
No,
It's-
the only way
it's
that happens.
Darnold's job until he fails. Like that's
And-
kind of how I see it.
The only way that happens is if a team comes in and offers Darnold a stupid amount of money.
Which
I don't play
it's
for that.
clear that Minnesota doesn't want to do because they avoided that with Kirk.
Exactly.
Kirk's also old.
Yeah, who knows? But like Darnold's still
only
young.
26, man.
Yeah, he's young and he's
Yeah.
balling.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not
like,
seeing
if I'm
ghosts
Vikings-
anymore.
No.
No, the ghosts are
He'll,
gone.
he'll be seeing green soon enough.
Yeah. That was complete domination by Minnesota, and
Yeah.
every single one of our picks are cooked for them, I guess, this season. So
Yeah. so,
Philly and New Orleans, we got this
Sorry.
pick right. I feel like, I hope. But Philly and New
We'll see.
Orleans.
We'll see at the end.
This is a very boring game. Jalen Hurts, what's going on with the Eagles? I know they won the game, but like, man, they just look like they never have like their footing in any game they play. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I feel like it's just the injuries that are killing them right now. Like I don't know if it's like Sirianni. I don't know if it's just the
I think it's-
injuries.
I
Like,
think it
like
is,
AJ
man. I think
Brown
it's
not being
Sirianni.
there. Like it's
I-
just
I
don't know.
honestly like Isaac. That's a good way to like. They don't have their footing, but like the weird. Like it looks like they just don't want to win the game. They won
Yeah,
it because
like-
they won it, but
They
it
don't
looks
play
like
with
they don't-
urgency. They don't
Yeah.
play
No.
with like any drive. It looks like they're just like going through the motions. Jalen, like,
Jalen Hurts is emotionless.
yeah, it's
He's
like
actually emotionless.
Yeah.
he's taking it too far. Like, like this
Like,
this cool dude
yeah.
like persona that he's been trying to persuade since he got into the league. Like, give it up, man. Like, you have no
too cool now.
camaraderie
It's
in
too
this
cool.
team,
No.
yeah.
No.
and it
It's-
doesn't help that your coach doesn't either. Like, there's no presence in this team.
wow.
It seems.
Besides him
No.
crying for the national anthem.
Yeah,
I mean,
Hey, he's passionate.
yeah.
but Philly's defense did well in this game. They
They
held
proved
their
themselves.
car.
It was a comeback game for them.
For sure, they played good, but I mean, story of the whole game, and could be the whole NFL right now. Saquon Barkley is going to be the MVP of the league. He's
He
carrying
looks,
this
he
offense.
looks,
He
he looks
He is,
crazy, man.
yeah.
Other than that drop last
Yeah.
season or that last game that he kind of lost the game for them, he's had
No,
like
the
a
defense lost the game for
phenomenal
that.
season.
Yeah, but like football, you can't you can lose it on one play.
Yeah,
But there's a lot of other
Yeah,
plays.
it's easy to look at that one play, but
I don't
I just
blame
feel like-
Barkley for that one because they should have put it out of reach before that.
Exactly. So I don't know. Eagles, yeah. Saints, I was expecting something to blow up. I wasn't expecting them to put up 30 points a game for the whole season. They're not that team.
Honestly, Derek Carr kind of became the Derek Carr that I know he is in
Yeah.
this game, so I was kind of expecting him to revert back to this. I just didn't expect it this week. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They just crumbled. Their defense looked good. Their defense still played good, the
Yeah.
Saints, but
yeah,
I don't expect Derek Carr. And as soon as everybody starts, Rashid Shaheed, of course, he gets 0 points.
hey,
It's, yeah.
he's the most frustrating guy out there.
It's what it is, right?
But Olave finally showed up, so I'm thankful for that. At least
Yeah.
finally the guy, like him and Carr actually look like they are friends now. So
Yeah, they made up before the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was actually targeting him, like kind of
Yeah.
hoarding him instead of Rashid Shaheed. Like Rashid, I've never bought into Rashid. Like, no offense to the guy, he's undrafted. Been a special teams guy for the last
Yeah.
few seasons. Like, I'm sorry, he's not a bona fide wide receiver too. He's a
No.
he's
He's a
a
speedster who got
boomer
open on
bust. He's a boomer
Yeah.
bust guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
He's
Yeah.
not
he reminds
commanding
me of
six
like a,
receptions a game.
he reminds me of like a Gabe Davis.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
Gabe Davis,
even like a
a little bit more shifty than a Gabe Davis.
yeah,
not as
but,
big.
Yeah,
No,
just
but
a
I mean,
small,
like,
a smaller Gabe Davis. Yeah, like
Yeah.
just someone who can maybe break the top. Like he's like
Yeah.
an MVS for the
Yes. Yeah.
you know what I mean? He's like an MVS for the Chiefs last year. He just kind of like he'd get those
He's a
random
Kadarius
catches.
Tony with hands.
Yeah, yeah. No, the new Kadarius Tony is Brandon Ayuk.
No,
Yeah,
actually,
that's
Kadarius Tony with hands is Randy Moss, man. Kadarius Tony, like, dude, he was gross in
Tyreek.
college. He just has
Yeah.
no hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
just can't catch a cold for the life of him.
No.
Dude,
Oh,
dude,
man.
yeah, that's bad. Okay, speaking of, wait,
Uh.
you know we got to move on when we start talking about Kadarius Tony.
Yeah,
so next
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
The slander's there. You guys want to move to Los Angeles and Pittsburgh?
Yeah, let's do that one.
Yeah, LA and Pittsburgh for sure.
So here's the thing. I'm buying into the Vikings, like, without a doubt. I can't buy into the Pittsburgh. Like, I feel like they're 3-0. They haven't gotten like a meaningful, like, respectable
you mean.
win.
I
Like,
get what you're saying.
Herbert didn't
Every
even play
game-
the full game.
Isaac, I don't think they're going to get a meaningful respectful
Yeah.
win because
This is
the
what they-
Pittsburgh Steelers, this is what they do, Jeff. Exactly. This is what they do. They're going to just muddle their way through to like a 10-7,
Yep.
11-6 season,
Yeah.
potentially make the playoffs, but you're not going to see them blow teams out. Their defense is going to keep them in games,
Yeah.
but their offense isn't good enough to blow teams out.
Mike
Pause.
Tomlin did it again.
Yeah, he'll figure it out. I have no worry about the Pittsburgh Steelers. No worry at all. And honestly, who knows when Russell comes back if he's even going to play? Like I don't know. They might just
Mike
keep Fields.
Tomlin's keeping that super wide open.
I don't know.
He hasn't.
I
He
feel
hasn't.
like it's Fields now. This is Fields' job.
Well, if
Mike
they're
Tomlin
winning-
hasn't called it out and said like that Justin Fields is like the QB1. He hasn't came out and said it. They've asked him multiple times. He won't
I
flat
don't
out
think
say
he
it.
can though. He can't. He's not that guy to be like to say
No.
that.
Which
And if it ain't
it
broke,
is
don't
fair
fix
because
it.
it's like
Yeah.
I could see Pittsburgh like being ominous and not giving like a straight up answer just to screw with like their opponent, right? You don't want to
Yeah,
throw
That's a
your cards
Pittsburgh-
out there
That's a Pittsburgh Steelers
Yeah,
thing to do.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a grimy thing to do.
Yeah.
because this offense, like dude, like Justin Field, this was his best game against subpar defense. I don't like they. A lot of these guys are past their prime. You know what I mean? But he was
Yeah.
making some good plays. What's his name? Calvin Austin had a great game.
Yeah.
But at the end of the
Yeah, he
day,
did.
their run offense still atrocious. Their O line still looks atrocious. So it's nice to see that this game, Justin Fields, his rushing finally came alive. Though he finally got his first rushing touchdown this year.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're right.
But this Los Angeles is cooked without Justin Herbert because it's so obvious to play against them. Like they're a run team, but it's very obvious that they're going to run it without him.
Well, like, what kind of bothered me with this game is like I get obviously you got to put him out there because he is that guy. Like he's your starter, but the guy literally like had an ankle sprain the week before. Obviously, he's not going to be like 100%. Why are you putting him against this defense to get killed again?
Yeah, we already saw that that's a recipe for disaster last year with Trevor Lawrence, like trying to play through injury. It never works. You know what I mean? You might as well just rest your guy for a couple of weeks, get him out when he's fully
Yeah.
healthy.
And it's also week 3. Like, come on.
Yeah,
The only-
that's what I'm
like-
saying. Like,
The only guy that's ever played through a high ankle sprain and been successful is Patrick Mahomes. I hate to say it, but like that guy played on a bum ankle and still
Yeah.
went and won the Super Bowl.
Okay,
I hate the Chiefs.
Next
but
topic. Next topic.
I hate the Chiefs, but
Oh,
man,
yeah.
he's something else.
the
that
best
guy.
player in the NFL. Yeah.
He's Josh Allen's father.
Okay.
until proven otherwise.
So, yeah.
So yeah,
We're ending
let's
this
move on to
episode
Denver and Tampa Bay. Denver just came alive, 26-7, like crazy, and Bo Nix
Yes.
didn't even do anything other than
Yeah, wow.
he rushed the most we've seen this entire season, even in preseason. Like this is the most we've
And
seen
this
him
is what we've
rush.
been saying. He needs to rush. Like I don't get why he wasn't running before.
Yeah, if he opens that side of his game, it's going to be a little bit more challenging to game plan against.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Bucks looked pretty bad. I think their O-line just didn't. Their O-line sucked this game. Baker didn't have any time to throw.
Pat Surtain had Evans on locks.
Yeah, I mean, Pat Surtain is one of the best
Yeah,
corners in
he's
the game.
he's
So
one of the best.
Do you guys think
It's-
Pat Surtain is better than Sauce Gardner?
yeah,
Yes.
I think so as well.
I think
Because
I
dude,
think
if you
Sauce
watch
gets a lot of hype.
if you
Sauce
watch
just
Sauce
talks more.
if you watch
holds.
Sauce, he doesn't
yeah.
he gets away with so much grabbing, so much illegal contact on every single
Yeah.
play. And Pat Surtain, when you watch him, like he's so strategic with how he like plays. He doesn't like play cheap like that. You know what I mean? Like he's just
No, he's so technical. He's
Yeah.
just the most
Yeah.
technical. He doesn't grab. He's just
Oh.
always in the proper position.
Yeah.
But like you don't throw it to him. You just don't.
No.
Like he
And like
just,
he has like whoever wide receiver one he goes against, he always shuts them down. Like it's like a known thing that like you're not having a good day when you're facing him. Whereas like Sauce Gardner, like I feel like a couple guys have been able to have good games despite all the holds and other random shit he does.
yeah, but does Sauce even follow? Like I feel like they play more zone than man over in New York. I don't know. I haven't watched much of the
I
defense.
haven't
but-
watched him enough to know, but
yeah. I think he does follow. I don't think he stays to one side. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe on teams that are like that actually have a wide receiver one. But anyway, yeah, this game was a blowout. Shout out to the Broncos for getting that win. They looked good.
Is
Maybe not their
Rashad
units,
White
but-
cooked? I think he's cooked. He has an atrocious.
Word of the day is cooked.
But there's,
Your word of the day is cooked.
it is, yeah. But dude,
Yeah.
Rashad Wright is averaging 2.1 yards a carry.
so
He's not playing good at all.
Bucky Irving
I don't
is
know.
averaging like almost 5. It's just crazy to me.
yeah. But Bucky Irving was also really good out of college. Like I feel like he was kind of underrated coming out. And then he went to the Bucks where everyone thought like, oh, he's gonna be behind Rashad White. But Rashad White has been a guy of like opportunity. He's not that great.
He's always been
gets
off
all the
volume
touches.
because he wasn't even he was never
Yeah.
efficient at running the ball. But
No, he's just been he gets
But-
everything, so he looks good.
the thing is though is
Yeah.
Bucky Irving, like you look at his tape and he excelled at pass catching. You know what I mean? Like he was
Yep.
never known for like his hardcore running. He
Mm-hmm.
always excelled as like a dual threat back. And that's kind of the game that Rashad White plays. So like are we just gonna see Rashad White slowly phased out of this offense? Who knows?
Maybe.
Potentially, yeah. I don't know. I think Rashad White is just again, he was that guy, because of the volume that he had. There was nobody else on the team,
Yeah.
so he looked like that guy. And if you're a decent back and you get fed that much volume, of course you're gonna look decent. You're gonna look pretty
Yeah.
good. Whereas exactly what you just said, Isaac Irving comes in, kind of the same player ish,
But arguably better.
but produced like you know what I mean.
Arguably more skilled. Like
Exactly.
his college tape compared to Rashad White's, Bucky Irving blows
Night
us
and
out of
day.
the water.
Night and day.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, boring game. Good win for Denver. I don't think we predicted this win, but we'll see at the
We'll
end. Carolina and Las Vegas. Let's hear it, Jeff. What were you thinking
Game of the
watching
week.
this game?
Game of the week. I was thinking about time Andy Dalton was starting. Like literally came in. Everyone thought the team was broken, and then this guy comes in, throws three TDs. Like he makes every receiver relevant. The running game's back. Like he actually just showed that like Bryce Young wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts. Like I hurt for Bryce Young. You know what I mean? Because this is the last
Yeah.
thing you want to happen for his situation. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't look good.
And Jeff, as a Carolina fan too, how does it feel having a quarterback who's so old running the offense, performing well, but knowing that obviously he's not going to stay around.
No,
he's not
that's the
he's not
problem.
your guy of the future, right? That's
No.
the problem. It's like you wish that was the young guy doing that, but it took Andy Dalton, like a 12-year vet, 11-year vet,
See,
probably even longer, right?
this is the part that bothers me the most about it is that Andy Dalton should have been starting last year because we didn't have our first round pick. Like, I don't care what our record was last year. We could have done whatever, and then Chicago would have been fine with whatever we gave them. But like now, this is a pick we actually need. We actually have some picks that we're like, okay, we need to build up, and if we somehow we get like a mediocre record, it's just gonna keep us in the same limbo area where it's like
You
we're not
guys
good,
need
we're
holes.
not bad. Like
You guys need to fill
exactly,
those holes.
right? Yeah, we need to fill things, and right now it's like, as much as Andy Dalton's good, I'm not wanting him to kill and like get every single win possible. Like, we need to figure out what we're gonna do for the future here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, on the other side of the ball too, it was such a Las Vegas like.
It was
loss.
it was a trap game for sure.
It was such a trap game.
You beat
Devontae
the
Adams
Ravens,
looks so
but you
done with
lose.
his team, man. Like he looks
Yeah.
so done. I'm not
I
gonna
feel
say
like
he's
he's been
cooked,
done though.
but
He's
he
been
just
done
looks like
since,
so disinterested.
Yeah.
Looks like he doesn't
since,
even like
Carter
football
left,
anymore.
I feel like he left.
Imagine he gets traded to the Saints. It just wants to follow Derek Carr for some reason. Because that's the only reason he really went there. He got offered the exact
is the
same
only
contract to go
Yes.
back to Green Bay. It's
And
just
he
crazy.
wants
Like him
Carr
and-
yet.
Him and Derek Carr are like college buddies, right? So like that's why he went to Raiders. So like when he got traded, it pissed him off that like why am I still here? But I have this contract. I can't really do anything now.
Man, in my opinion, they should have just rode with Derek Carr, got rid of Josh McDaniels, because that was the problem. Like he is
Yeah.
an awful coach. He's up there with Brandon
He's one of the
Staley.
worst.
He's up
Yeah.
there with Urban Meyer. Like he's awful.
Okay, Urban Meyer's in a tube,
I was
so
gonna say,
But, like, seriously,
Urban Meyer
though.
is definitely the worst.
Dude,
he
dude.
broke Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, but Josh McDaniel was god awful. Like
Yeah.
god awful.
Yeah.
Without Belichick, that guy, it's just crazy. It's crazy how much these guys get opportunities based off of like where
they
they
were,
come
right?
from and who they like
Yeah.
coached under. You know what I mean?
Yep.
that's the tree, right? There's
That's the tree, though.
coaching tree, right?
Yeah.
That's why everybody who's coached ever under Shanahan, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody who's ever
D'Amico
coached under
Shanahan,
Ryans.
McVay.
gonna get a job. Yeah, they're all from there. They're all
Even
from there.
even Buddy, their nerd on the Dolphins. What's his name there?
Mike.
Mike
Mike-
McDaniel.
oh,
he was under
yeah.
Buddy too.
Yeah, they're all in Washington or wherever he was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's that's what it is. It's either you got to be a former player or you got to be part
Yeah.
of a coaching tree that was successful.
I don't know. Las Vegas. I want them to get Shadir Sanders so bad. Like I feel
That'd be
like
cool.
I feel like he's
think they will.
perfect for that team because they are always
I
like
think so.
they don't really have like Oakland's always or Las Vegas has always had like personalities, you know, like polarizing
Yeah.
players that are kind of in the buzz. I'm not going to specify why or who, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. They don't have that right now. Other than Max Crosby, he's kind of like their presence on the defense, but they don't have anyone on offense that's like, you know, Brock Bowers. He looks like he just puts his head down, loves football, keeps to himself. Like he's not a
He's like,
Gronk.
I
Gronk.
love the game.
He looks like he worked an office job for 40 years
Yeah.
before he made the NFL.
Like I never ever see that guy like being like Gronk, like you know, like party animal, like a huge personality.
No.
They need someone like Shadir Sanders to kind of stir up the pot a little bit. Kind of, you know, I want to see it so bad.
Shadir
perfect.
Sanders in Vegas would be so dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be so dangerous.
Poor Henry. Anyways.
Yeah, yeah. Even post CTE Antonio Brown too, like that. That's
Yeah.
what they need. Someone like that. You know what I mean?
The last couple of years, it's really been their coach that's been the
Who's had
Doofus.
CTE?
Yeah.
First ever coach to get CTE. Anyway.
Yeah.
Next game. Or
And
next game.
one thing I do want to say, man, shout out to our Canadian boy Chuba Hubbard. Everyone always hates on him because he's
Oh, I
like
know.
so
he played good.
He's playing nice.
like, man, no one ever believes in this guy, but he just continues to like do what he can with what he's given with. You know,
Yeah.
like he had a great game,
Yeah, he did, and
Yeah.
he
and
got,
Deontay Johnson did too, which is nice to see.
Deontay Johnson could be a wide receiver, like an actual wide receiver one, if
Yeah.
that play keeps up.
Yeah, this is what
If
he was
that
traded
quarterback
here
play.
for. So like, I'm kind of
Exactly.
happy to see it. I'm like, finally, like this is what we needed. Like, I'm tired of Adam Thielen being wide receiver one on this team.
I'm feeling we'll be playing much football.
I will
Oh,
respect.
He's about to retire, but
I will.
Well, I mean, also the injury, right?
no, I'm saying this injury's gonna retire him. Like,
Oh
he's
yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, 100%.
I really respect Deontay Johnson because in Pittsburgh, like he said a lot of things in like press conferences in the media, and
yeah,
he was in a lot of arguments on the sidelines. Kind of like was looked at as not a team player, but I do respect when like before Bryce Young was benched, or kind of like right before, kind of around the time when he was benched. Deontay Johnson came out and said like, listen, Bryce Young, he's our guy. Kind of just consoled in him, and I don't know. That's nice to see from a guy that's kind of had a history of locker room problems. You know what I mean? Like he kind of confided
Yeah.
in him, and that's good. It's good to see.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, whatever he said didn't matter because Andy Dalton's the starter now, and he gave him the game of his year so far. So
And he's a hell of a lot happier with Andy Dalton as a
yeah,
starter.
he's
but yeah,
probably eating his
I'm
words
sure
a
in the
little bit,
moments
but
he meant it. I'm
I
sure in the
enjoyed to
moments,
see
whatever
it,
he
you
said,
know?
he meant it.
it was a
Yeah.
full
And now-
circle moment.
And now we're seeing Andy Dalton revenge game against the Bengals. So
Oh,
Is that I want to put that as my lock so bad, so bad.
that's not a lock though. That's the thing.
Or not my lock, sorry, sleeper. I wanted to put it as my sleeper
Oh, okay.
so bad, but there
I
because it
couldn't.
would be like it would
I
be
get it.
the
There's
funniest
no
thing ever.
way the Bengals are going 0-4 though.
It would be the funniest thing ever
Yeah.
if Andy Dalton came out
Walked
36
into
years old
Cincinnati, Ohio,
with
and
his
just
red
laid
hair
down the wood.
yeah,
and was like,
The
"I'm
red
that
fire.
guy."
Yeah. He said, "You miss me?"
Yeah, yeah, man. Anyways, let's move on to Miami
Guys,
and
we should go to
Seattle.
the game. We should just go to the game.
Oh
Hey,
my
it's
gosh,
only
that
like
would've been a
4
game to go
hours for
to.
me and Jeff. Come
Yeah.
down, Con. Let's go.
We should go to the. If I wasn't going to a Riverdale Bishops game this weekend, I would be going.
oh god,
I'm surprised you're not going, Jeff. It's not that far.
honestly, I'm working that weekend, so
Oh.
it's just a circumstance of not getting anything off. But
Fair
this would
enough.
definitely be the game I'd go to because I like both teams. To be honest,
And
Yeah.
also, if we go, it's just going to be a 55-0 game anyway for,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the Bengals. You know what I mean?
it'll be blowout.
It's just going to be a
our
blowout if we
luck.
go. So
Yeah.
might as well just watch it on TV.
yeah.
Miami and
Yeah.
Seattle. Seattle's another team that I just can't put in my top 5 power rankings yet. I just feel like they this is a beat up Miami team without their starting quarterback. You know what I mean? Like
I hope you win. I hope you win, Seattle.
yeah, if you don't win this game, like
Yeah.
they I have this,
Yeah.
You
them in the
should win
same
this
tier
game.
as Pittsburgh. Like you haven't proved to me personally that you are one of the best in the league. Even though you're 3-0, a lot of teams have been 3-0 over the last couple of years and missed playoffs. I just don't
You know that
believe them.
meme? You know that meme with the 3 dragons? And like the 2
Oh,
serious
yeah.
looking dragons and
Yeah.
the goofy looking
Yeah,
dragon?
the Game of
Yeah.
Thrones ones or whatever. Like,
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Seattle right now, that goofy looking dragon.
yeah.
Which is crazy because we had them much higher on our preseason power rankings than the Vikings, but we actually believe in the Vikings out of all the teams. It's just kind of
Well,
crazy.
Yeah, but I
Take
feel
the
like
line.
Vikings have proved it. Like they played 2 good opponents the last couple weeks and like proved that like okay they're actually legit. Whereas like Seahawks played like the Patriots last week. I can't remember who they played. It was someone random, but like it wasn't another good team.
They played Denver.
That's
at
what
one
Yeah, they
point.
played
Yeah.
and they almost lost. They almost lost.
exactly. Yeah. So
However, I do like the 2 corners on Seattle. It's Witherspoon
Witherspoon and Tyreek Woolen.
Tyreek Woolen.
yeah, their
Yeah,
defense is
great.
really good.
Yeah, they have that's a great, probably the best tandem in the league.
Yeah.
Those 2, but yeah, I just don't believe in them. I just think
I'm with you on
they're-
that.
I just think they're a wild card team at best.
Another
Yeah,
team
I
I'm not
agree.
really believing in right now is the Ravens. Let's just move on to the Ravens in the Dallas game, man. Like, dude, the Ravens almost choked this. They were up like 3 scores going into the 4th.
They can't
They
seem to
almost
hold the
choked
lead.
this.
Like why are they struggling to hold leads all game, like all season now?
Their defense doesn't look. I thought like on paper, I thought they were going to be like still one of the best defenses in the league. They were projected to be one of the best defenses in the league, but they're not as shut down as other teams right now.
Are you talking about Baltimore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like they should be shut down. I just think they kind of gave up in the end. I think they knew they were gonna win, and they just gave up and made it a little closer with that onside kick that they recovered, that Dallas recovered, and it just got a little closer than they wanted. I still think that Baltimore is a decent team, and even looking into next week, if you want to take an underdog next week, Bills are underdogs against Baltimore next Sunday night.
Really?
I think that's crazy.
That's a stat, but so that's the line.
But honestly, though,
I also
it's kind of a trap game for Bills, though.
it is, yeah. In Baltimore, that's why I totally see why they are underdogs. But back to this game, Dallas has got to figure it out offensively. Like they got to.
I'm not even talking about Dallas because they didn't make any moves all off season.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
on
to be
them.
expected,
It's on
bro.
them.
You have
Yeah.
Rico Dowdle and Zeke Elliott, who is almost 30 years old, as your running backs. Like you didn't make any moves in the off season. You have a couple of guys coming off like massive injuries, like Trevon Diggs tore his ACL last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But also the drama, just the drama around Dallas
The
is-
signing?
with the contracts and
Yeah, and
all
CeeDee
this
Lamb's
stuff.
still on the sidelines bitching at Dak for not getting enough targets, and
Yeah.
it's just
and then he fumbles and all this, right?
it's not good, man. I don't even I don't I mean I'm not like
I don't like Dallas at all.
yeah. I think we projected
Well,
them to win a lot of games this year too.
So for this game, it kind of made me laugh because Dallas was one of those teams that can go after Derrick Henry. So it's kind of like this is why you should have went after Derrick Henry in the offseason instead of doing the whole like.
Because it was
we're gonna just play
projected.
with
It was
Rico
projected
Dowdle.
all off season.
Yeah,
Like,
like
it seems like that's what they were waiting for, and then they
But it's
just missed
also
their mark.
a perfect fit. Like
It
Derrick
was.
Henry going to Dallas was a perfect fit.
it made sense.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry had a good game in this game.
He
151
played well,
rushing
yeah.
yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. He had like over 20 carries.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still
Cowboys
proved that
also
he's
can't defend
serviceable,
the
man.
run, but
Yeah. He is
Yeah.
serviceable. He looked good. He looked efficient. He looked like he was running hard.
Mark Andrews is cooked. That's the word of the day.
I think all the tight
nice.
ends. I think all the tight ends in the NFL
Dude,
are
this
cooked.
is
Yeah.
like the tight
Hashtag
end.
that didn't suck.
Dude, the
That
only
didn't suck.
tight end that's like really good right now is Brock Powers.
Yeah, Brock
Not
Bowers,
even
the
our boys.
40-year-old
Not even Trey
accountant.
McBride and Dalton Kincaid. Like they're not even.
No,
Oh, it's crazy.
it is. It's ridiculous, to be honest.
Did you guys see the
It's-
Dallas Goddard one? Like his not touchdown, his like 60-yard run.
Yeah, it
He's
was
so
nice.
slow.
But
So
like,
slow.
He's so slow.
So
but-
slow.
and that's another thing too. Like yeah, Dallas Goddard, he had like 22 fantasy points. You know what I mean? But you didn't have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown in.
Exactly.
So who are you
It's
going
like
to throw the
everyone
ball
being
to?
out.
Jahan Dotson?
Yeah.
No.
But also that one
Yeah.
play was like 7 fantasy points right there. So like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's just like
More than that.
probably, to be
Probably.
honest. So yeah, it's just Goddard. The Eagles. That was a weird game. Of course, Goddard's gonna get all those targets. They have.
Yeah.
I can't even name either wide receiver 3. So
No
It's
idea.
Jahan Dotson.
yeah,
And
exactly.
he sucks.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Who we got?
Let's go San Fran and Los Angeles. This was my lock, and it went the other way. But
Lock.
I should have
Well,
known because divisional games
was
can
a lock.
always go like any way, really. Divisional
Which
games.
we said last
We
week.
said that.
But we said you know what?
I know,
Doesn't
but I
matter. San
and
Francisco.
you know what? Matthew Stafford is one of my like I love that guy. Like he is a dog, man. I don't know
Dude,
why
he's
I
the
bet
man.
against him.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford is the
I don't
man.
know.
Because Brock
He-
Purdy
yeah.
still had a good
Williams,
game. It's
the
not
man.
like Brock
Brady
Purdy
played well.
and Joan Jennings. Like oh my
For
god,
175.
3
Holy-
touchdowns,
Ew.
Yeah.
44 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Yeah, on my bench.
Justin in our league, Jeff, sent me a trade for Xavier Worthy
Oh.
for Juwan Jennings.
sent-
Like, bro,
He sent me one too.
dude, like,
he
get
sent
out
me
of
one
here.
too.
You do this every single season. Like, you try and sell me your waiver pickups that go off every single year. I'm not doing it. No one's biting. Stop. You're pissing
like
everyone
my-
off.
That's like the one league when Buddy offered me 2 first rounds or a first and a second and Amari Cooper
Oh,
for
dude.
TK.
Don't even get me started.
Really?
Yeah,
Sure,
what a brutal
I'll take
trade.
it.
Wow.
That guy,
That's,
I guarantee you that guy's not going to play in the league next year. That's what pisses me off.
No, he
People
won't.
make trades, ruin
No.
their team and dynasty, and then they're done.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd almost rather like the other way, like where like not a lot of trades are happening, and everyone's like trying to, keep their dynasty. But dude, there's
Yeah.
some bonehead trades in our league.
Oh yeah. I have a
I laugh at
personal-
some
I
of them.
use I usually don't make a trade until like halfway through the season, just
Yeah,
to
same.
let everything settle out. But if someone offers me a bonehead trade like that, I'm not gonna say no.
No, you
and
can't. You
yeah,
can't.
it is what it is. But
Anyway.
Matthew Stafford proved that he is still a very good quarterback in today's league. Because
Without both of his number one
Yeah.
targets, 1 and 2 targets with Coop and Puka out, very interesting. Very interesting how it.
Kyron Williams had a
Williams
decent
had a
day
day.
on the ground too.
Of course he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who even went off for the Rams to for them to score this many points? Because Tutu
Kyron scored 2.
Atwell didn't
Kyron.
do nothing.
I think it was
Like-
Kyron just carried the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 2
And
touchdowns.
Atwell
Atwell
did well,
had
with
93 yards,
but-
four receptions.
Yeah.
Like it looks like the Rams contained Mason as well. Like he had 19 carries, 77 yards, not bad, but he's been doing much better the last couple games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 19 carries is usually like 120 yards.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy did well. I hate to admit, but he did well without Debo and CMC
And Kittle.
and Kittle. 22
Yeah.
for 30, 292 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was a Kyron Williams game, and they won the game. I wonder if this game, like games like this, I feel like come down to coaching too. Sean McVay is still one of those top guys.
Oh yeah.
I think-
Sean McVay. That was a big win for Sean McVay.
It was. Also, like, what's going on with Brandon Ayuk? Like, I get he hasn't played much for the preseason stuff, but this guy does not seem like the same person.
You know what he looks like? He looks like how he did in his rookie season. He's not trying. Like it looks
Yeah.
like he's not trying.
Yeah.
He has the ball in his hands, doesn't come down with it. Whereas last year he was coming down with everything. Like he literally everything. He barely had any drops last year.
Well, it seems like he got his contract. Why is he working?
And also he didn't do anything all off season. Like off season is
No.
important, man. That conditioning, it's not easy.
Yeah.
So
was.
good win for the Rams. Let's move on to Detroit and Arizona. Man, this game frustrated me.
Yeah. Detroit looked
Yeah.
good.
They did.
Arizona looked all right, but Detroit looked good.
Dude, you want to know? You want to know the difference? Is Detroit was able to run the ball and Arizona was not. James Conner had an
Yeah.
atrocious game.
They
Atrocious.
just didn't look like the Arizona Cardinals from last week at all.
No.
I don't know if it was due to a scheme difference. I don't know if the DC over in Detroit just knew what Arizona was going to do, but they just didn't look like the same team. And Detroit just looked dominant.
Yeah.
That little hook and ladder touchdown to Gibbs.
Oh,
That was
That was
gross.
that's a
was-
probably play of the year right now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
But
But-
yeah, no.
The first half was the best first half of the week, and the second half was so boring.
Yeah.
And it was a hard watch. James Conner, he had 30-something yards on 17 carries. That's just awful.
Pretty sad, yeah.
But they contained Kyler decent. Trey McBride's in concussion protocol.
I was
So-
gonna say, I don't think he's playing this week.
Yeah.
Be better.
So
Having,
Kansas City and
2
Atlanta.
rounds. Okay.
That
Kansas
was
City keeps
interesting.
on getting bailed out.
Right? Thank you.
That was PI, no? I've been having arguments with people about this. Was that not PI?
I think it was,
It is.
but,
It is very.
I don't know.
It is to 31 other NFL teams.
It's
Yeah,
very
like-
coincidental that every single game this year has come down to penalties in favor of Kansas City. Every single one.
And
Yeah.
I'm not really one. I'm not I personally think that it's not the refs. You don't get paid off. There's nothing it just so happens that the games went down to penalties, and it looks terrible for someone who's very speculative about the NFL and fixing games and all that.
Yeah.
But that was, personally think that was clearly PI. He was hugging him before the ball even got there. Yeah, it was a bad throw. It was an underthrow. The DB couldn't do much, but at the same time, rules are rules.
Yeah. I know. Is this? I'm not saying they're always getting bailed out, but I feel like the refs are always somehow making some great decision that causes the outcome of this game. At some point, just let them play. I get it, but I don't know.
Carson Steele looked pretty good this game. His first
It looked
first
okay.
It was
NFL
alright.
starting debut. He didn't score a touchdown, but he was averaging over 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
finished
For
with
as
77
undrafted.
yards, 72 yards, maybe.
72 yards, yeah. Rasheed Rice
Yeah.
is a bona fide wide receiver one, man. He's a
He's
league
a
winner.
dog.
He's, yeah.
Like for fantasy.
I can't believe I got him in the 5th or 6th.
Dude, in
That's
one of our
crazy.
dynasty leagues, I think it was the OFSA Dynasty League, we did the draft pretty early, like in June, and that was like when his crash and stuff came out. I got him in the 8th
yeah.
round.
Yeah.
8th round, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's-
like, no, I got Nico in the 4th and Rasheed in the 6th, I think, and they're both 1 and 2 with receiving right now.
They're killing.
It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's man, he looks good. Kirk Cousins, I feel like this game was a game for Kirk Cousins to win, and he like you said,
He's
Well, it's prime time, so
he's getting more comfortable though.
Yeah,
Like, you
he
can tell
does.
he's getting a little
He
more
is.
comfortable. Like, you know what
he
I mean?
still
He's
looks
settling
slow as
in.
molasses, but he's
But-
moving around a little bit more.
Yeah, but
not
I don't think
cool.
they deserved to. They didn't. They definitely didn't deserve to win that game though. I don't.
No.
They didn't. Like the refs didn't completely screw them over.
No.
Like it was
it
one
was
call,
Chiefs. Chiefs
it was-
deserve that one.
but the Chiefs did win that game.
Kind of what you go back to though, Con. Like when we were talking about the Saquon Barkley play last week. There's 4 quarters and like a ton of plays, right? You can't narrow it down to one single play. At the end of the day, there's no argument that there's not a script. There's a script in the NFL. It's they want to fill some sort of narrative. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, these teams, if they capitalize early and continue to dominate, you know they're gonna come out with a win. Atlanta just didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
Exactly.
But
All right.
Patrick Mahomes has looked like pretty mediocre. It's same with Travis Kelsey, man. Like I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes is like washed. No, I'm not
I'm
saying
saying
that.
Travis Kelsey might be washed.
I
I'm
think he is
saying
too.
That
I also think the Falcons' safety tandem, Bates and Simmons, they play lights out.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
he did.
They play lights out. Like that pick, that I think it was Simmons. I think Simmons got the pick. I don't know if it was Simmons
AJ
or Bates.
Terrell's really good too.
AJ Terrell, and I don't know who
Yeah.
the other. I keep on forgetting the other corner's name on the other side. He's been playing lights out too. Like their secondary's been balling,
Yeah, I
and they
agree.
still lost.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because Patrick Mahomes after this game he was like, "Oh man, it's like they're putting 2 guys on Travis Kelsey every single play, dude." If you watch
He's
the
wide
film,
open.
he's not. He's single covered every
No.
time.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
just slow
no.
as hell, man.
He's
He's
just
broken.
slow. Yeah.
But
It's
it's yeah. I mean, another KC win. As of right now, they're still
Undefeated.
the favorites. Yeah. Monday night games. Let's just get the Buffalo game out of the way because I want to finish off with the game of the week.
yeah. We don't have to talk about the Bills game that much. They're just dominant. They're gods. Like they're dogs.
We already
They're-
touched
yeah.
on how Trevor Lawrence is unfolding.
Sucks.
He
Yep.
sucks, man.
Yeah.
He sucks.
No, the Bills just walked into that game, dominated from start to finish,
Yeah.
and left. That's what
Literally.
it was. James Cook looked good. The O-line looked good. Keon Coleman was benched for the first quarter because he was
was
I
late
late.
heard
to a
about
meeting.
that. Because he missed
He
a
was,
meeting or
he was
something.
late to a meeting or something like that. So
I wish I known that before I started him.
yeah, me too. And then he goes in, the second quarter, first catch, touchdown. So
Yeah.
congrats to Keon for getting his first NFL touchdown.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jags just looked awful. Gabe Davis. It was like I was expecting
Christian
Gabe
Kirk.
Davis to.
This is Christian Kirk's first game of production all year.
Yeah.
It's 79 yards, but
Yeah, I was expecting Gabe Davis to do something like, 190 yards and two touchdowns, like something stupid that Gabe Davis would do.
I will
Did you
say
hear Josh Allen's comments? Sorry.
About like Stephon, like the Stephon Diggs thing.
It was. I don't even think it was a dig at him.
It was
though.
it was low key a dig at him. It was
Yeah,
like
but-
it was like it's just nice not having guys who care about stats. Was that
Yeah.
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
in his press conference, that's what he said. He said something about it's just nice about having guys that don't care about stats and you could just get them the ball.
Which is true.
Right.
Like he has
Which
a
is
bunch
true.
of guys where it's like he spreads it out more now. Like no one really cares what number they're getting. They kind of seem like more of like a family right now.
it
So-
would be pretty aggravating to be Josh Allen and have Stephon Diggs yelling at you to get on the ball, and then in the playoffs you throw it to him, it's in his hands, and he drops it off of like a 60-yard heave.
Yeah.
It was a perfect ball. Like, perfect
Yeah.
ball in his mitts. Couldn't have placed it any better, and he just dropped it.
We don't need to talk about that. So, yeah.
It would be pretty aggravating to be him, though, in like moments like that. I could see where his
For sure.
frustration's coming from, because Diggs is
But-
a diva.
But Jeff, to build off your point, I saw this somewhere. Josh, if you put it into basketball terms, he's not doing everything anymore. He's the
Yeah.
point guard. He's just facilitating. right?
Exactly.
He's putting guys in places and dishing the rock. He's not having to do everything himself anymore, which that's huge
nice.
for him, right? If he doesn't have to use his legs every play, if he can rely on guys to get 3-4 catches a game, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's enough about the Bills.
I want to just finish with one point about the Bills. It's about Josh Allen. If Josh Allen continues this MVP season and Josh Allen beats the Chiefs in the playoffs to kick them out of the three-peat and goes on and wins the Super Bowl, gets a Super Bowl MVP,
I've
that's
chills.
the only way I will say that he is the best quarterback in the NFL. Until that, I can't put him over Pat Mahomes. I can't.
So that's fine. I don't expect.
But
you
that's
to,
very
because,
doable because on right now the Bills look unstoppable. The Chiefs don't.
in my opinion, though, an MVP season for Josh Allen is him winning the division and going to the playoffs as a home favorite or even a
Yeah.
1 seed.
I feel like the
because
Bills need to be 1 seed.
You know what I mean? They were so degraded.
I'm not even talking
That's-
about MVP season. Like he's on par for it right now. I'm just saying, in terms of like how he stacks up against Patrick Mahomes, he doesn't
Yeah.
have the accolades. But what's always going to be the deciding factor when you look at Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes in the GOAT debate? Let's say like 10 years down the line. Well, when Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes played in the Super Bowl, Tom Brady won.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is like the lights will never be brighter if they meet in the playoffs this year and Josh Allen continues to play and he dominates the way he has been, comes out with the win. That's, man, I would be so happy for you because that would be like the best case scenario, man, for him.
Well, you're right. That is winning the Super Bowl is the best case scenario, for sure.
He is
But,
good
yeah,
enough to do it.
To be honest, though, there's like the AFC is not looking very strong right now.
No, it's
No.
pretty wide open.
You know what I mean? Like, it's looking like another Chiefs and Bills AFC championship as of right now, but like it's not, like the
The
league.
Jets
the
could
league's
come in
different.
and continue to do what they've been doing.
You know what I mean? Like the league is like it's different. We'll see what happens.
The
but
league,
yeah, I like
the
that
league
take.
as a whole is kind of wide open right now. Even
That's
the
what I'm
NFC.
saying.
Yeah,
The league
I agree.
doesn't. It's a weird first 3 weeks. You don't expect teams that are undefeated to be undefeated. You know what I mean? Like right now, like Pittsburgh's undefeated. Like the Seahawks are undefeated, and then there's teams that are. This is a great segue. There's teams that are 0-3 that you thought were going to be 3-0, like the Bengals, for example.
And then you got teams like the Vikings
they're-
that are 3-0. You thought might be
Right, and then you have
0-3.
teams like the Vikings, but like even moving on to the Bengals game, the Bengals and Commanders.
Yeah,
What a
let's
game that
talk
was.
about that, man.
That
Wow.
was a game.
Like Jaden Daniels, like is he CJ 2.0?
I don't know
about
because
that.
It's early.
I think-
It's early, but
Cincinnati's,
But I think he might be the best in the class.
as of right now, he is. But Cincinnati's secondary is
Questionable.
isn't great, and their D line doesn't cater towards rushing quarterbacks. If you think about it, you know they don't
Yeah.
have any fast guys off the line. Like Trey Hendrickson's their best guy on the line. He's not the fastest. You know what I mean? He got after Mahomes quite a bit, but all I'm saying is I don't think their defense was expecting. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Jaden Daniels because he had a hell of a game. You know, this is the first game that we actually saw him throw the deep ball a little bit to Terry McLaurin, move the offense like how he did in college, and it was awesome to see. But I think it was like the perfect opportunity for him to do so based on what the team he was playing.
he also had 3 touchdowns and 2 incompletions, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, his stats was amazing in that game.
As of right now,
And my-
he's the front runner for Rookie of the Year, obviously.
And mind you, too, that deep ball was like for
It's
game.
nice,
Like he
it's
called
nice to see
game.
him actually get McLaurin involved too. Like I felt like he
Yeah.
wasn't really getting involved prior to this
Yeah.
game.
And he like scary. Yeah, if Scary Terry could easily have over 1,000 yards if
Yeah.
if they keep the deep ball going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But overall, like that was the first game since 1940 without any turnovers or punts. Exciting football to watch. Great way to cap off the
Came down to the wire pretty much.
week 3. I mean,
Brian
Bengals-
Robinson is looking pretty
a
good
dog.
too,
He's a dog.
and
That's
he's
good.
gonna be even better next week because Austin Eckler's out.
Yeah,
He's
with
gonna
a
be getting
concussion.
all the workload, man.
Yeah, he will be.
He needs
That's
to
right.
get some of his goal line. Like this guy was killing me on the goal line. Like how many times was he stopped? Like he should have like 3
I know.
touchdowns.
Like you have 2 yards.
But that's
Yeah,
the
like,
problem.
I'm
But
like-
the problem is that's the problem. The Washington Commanders have struggled in the red zone all year because they've done the exact same thing in the red zone. They just try and run it in every
Yeah,
single
like,
time and
change
settle
it
with a field
up.
goal.
Change it up.
Yeah, they got to stay aggressive. That's their problem.
But
But they
Commanders
have
just
Cliff.
really impressed me this week.
They have Cliff Kingsbury as their offensive coordinator, and from a Cardinals fan, I'm not surprised. That guy,
Yeah, Cliff, he's not the greatest.
he actually is a very smart guy when it comes to like running an offense, but
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Cliff.
there's certain things that he has this box and he kind of stays in it, and that's kind of just an example of him just kind of staying in the box. He's got one of the most promising playmakers at quarterback. Like, get outside the box a little bit, especially in
I
the
think-
red zone.
I think it's just early for like it's week 3. It's early. I don't think he wants to show all of his cards, but then again, you gotta do what you gotta do to win games, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't hide all your plays until week 16, week 17.
Yeah.
You gotta win plays, or you gotta
Yeah.
win games. So you gotta make plays. But anyway, yeah, good week, Jeff. How do we do?
No,
right.
let's just specify though. There wasn't a single turnover, not a single punt in this game. Like, what
Yeah,
a game
since
to watch!
1940.
That was a good game.
Since
What a
1940,
game
yeah.
to watch!
Yeah.
This is like one of the best games to watch from start to finish I've ever seen.
Yeah. Like I'm kind of glad that the Bills game was already like over by that point because like I was watching both for a bit, and then I'm like, God, like Commanders is the game to watch. Like Bills is done. But
Yeah,
I stopped watching the Bills at halftime, to be
yeah,
honest.
like
I stopped in the first quarter. As soon as the Bengals game came on, actually, I kind of stopped watching. I was like,
yeah,
actually, maybe right after Trevor Lawrence threw that like just god awful pick, I was like, all right, that
To
was
DeMar?
one of the worst picks I've ever
Marlon?
seen. That
it
was,
was bad.
oh my
Damar
god,
Hamlin?
It was,
To
it was
DeMar
bad.
Hamlin.
It was
He
so
caught it on
bad.
his knees.
Yeah, like I'm just like, who are you throwing to?
Man, DeMar Hamlin's having himself a little bit of a season.
Comeback player of the year.
Come back.
Okay, settle down now.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah,
Plus
We
settle
already know
down.
who's
Plus
that's going
10,000.
to that's going to Darnold. So
No, they're gonna get.
It's either going to be Arnold or Arnold, Darnold or Aaron Rodgers.
Arnold or Dayrod.
Arnold or
A-Rod.
Yeah, sorry, my dyslexia came through.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
alright.
let's hear what we did, Jeff.
All right. So do you guys want to hear what you got, Ron, or you want to hear the record first?
Let's
hear
hear
the
the record.
All right. So record wasn't as good as the last couple weeks, but it was still better than I thought. It was 9-7.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
I'll
fine with
take
that.
that. Positive.
Yeah.
As long as
So,
we're
like,
over
we're
500,
positive?
I'm fine.
That's-
I'm
Over
fine with
500.
it. Yeah.
Right now we're killing it. So.
I saw a statistic that this was Vegas, one of Vegas's worst weeks.
Probably ever.
Oh,
yeah.
probably.
It was one of their worst weeks ever. So the fact that we were positive is like
Yeah.
great.
Hey, it's a win.
Yeah, that's
Profit.
a W, guys. Put it
Yeah.
here.
So the results are so, in terms of like the ones we got right, we got the Jets right, we got the
Okay.
Panthers right, we got the Colts right, the Eagles, Packers, Seahawks, Lions, Chiefs, Bills, and that was it. And then the ones we got wrong was the Browns, which
Yeah.
is of course, Texans,
Mm-hmm.
Chargers, Buccaneers, Cowboys, 49ers, and Bengals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
makes
mean
sense.
it makes sense because
Yeah.
and like to predict a Justin Herbert injury, like if
Yeah,
Justin
that-
Herbert stays healthy, if he was healthy, that's probably a different outcome. To
Who
be
knows?
honest,
Who knows what happens,
knows?
right? We don't know if they're
Yeah.
gonna win or lose, but
I
definitely
feel like
a different game.
yeah. The only one I kind of wish we changed was the Ravens Cowboys one, based on like the Cowboys doing nothing all off season, but
Mm-hmm.
still good. We're still positive. So
All right, let's check in with our top 5 after this week. don't know
yeah,
if
I
you guys
started
wanna-
last week, so you guys go ahead and I'll
Okay,
go third.
I'll start it off this week.
okay.
I'll go 5-1. So 5, I have the Packers.
Ooh,
just because,
okay.
just because. The only reason why I have the Packers is just because I'm thinking of the future when Jordan Love comes back. Like they
Oh,
look like
yeah,
a good team. I think that they're going to be a good team even when Jordan Love comes back. They're going to be dominant. So the fact that they're winning games right now with Malik Willis as quarterback, I think it says a lot. 4, I have Lions, just because I do think the Cardinals are a lot better of a team than last year, and a lot better of a team than they're given right now.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was that close, but the Lions still came out on top. Like I don't think the
The Cardinals have only lost by that was the most they've lost all season. They lost by
I
6 and
don't
7.
but I don't think that yeah, it's only been 3 games though.
But
Yeah.
to
But
really good
I,
teams though, those two
but
teams
that's
are
what I'm
in your
saying.
top 5.
That's what I'm saying. I think that the Lions just played a good game against a really good Cardinals team. I think they just shut them down. I think that they're a top 5 team. 3, I have Vikings, just because of what I've seen. Like if I were to just again, like I said last week, watch this season as my first NFL season, I would even maybe have them at 1. But there's a little something in me that's super skeptical about the Minnesota Vikings. And granted, they are the Minnesota Vikings. 2, I have the Chiefs. 1, I have the Bills. Just because I am a Bills fan, I'm gonna put my
Hey,
bias in
you gotta
front of
put
them.
your guys first.
Bills have been dominating the last 2 weeks, and then they played
Yeah.
against Arizona Cardinals, which again, who knows, could be a really good team down the road.
Yeah.
So they're playing good football. I think the Chiefs just won off a few calls, but you can't. They're 2-time defending champs, and they're 3-0, so you have to keep them in your top 2 teams. But yeah, Bills, Chiefs, Vikings, Lions, Packers.
Nice. All right, I'll go next then. For 5, I got the Steelers. They're in my top 5. Like as much as like
You got to respect it.
their offense, yeah, their offense hasn't done much. Their defense has been like lights out. Like they're pretty much. I don't think any team has scored more than like what 12 points or something on them. Like it's
Yeah,
some
their
crazy
defense is the
stat.
best in the NFL right now. You're right.
Yeah, so like I get the teams they played haven't been like the greatest offensively. They still been kind of shutting everyone out. So number 4, I have the Lions. Kind of going off what you said, Con. Like they've been playing good teams every week and kind of been showing what they are. Like they're definitely a Super Bowl favorite for a reason. So like I think they just need to clean up some things, but they're definitely like top 5. I feel like kind of all season kind of team. Number 3, I have the Vikings. After last week, they proved it to me. Like they are like after all that bash we gave them in the offseason, they're actually a good team, and they definitely deserve top 5. Number 2, I have the Bills, just because it's one of those Bills Chiefs toss up. It just depends on who you are.
Yeah,
Bills are
A1.
there. Yeah, like offensively, I
1A,
think the
1B,
Bills are
yeah.
better right now. Like the Bills are just that team, but it's hard to go off of the Super Bowl champs. Like Chiefs are a chance for a reason. They get the wins even if it's ugly. So
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I agree. Con, did you have the Bills or the Chiefs as your number 1?
Bills.
You had the Bills as your number 1. Okay, I figured you did, but I was
Yeah, don't be ridiculous.
well, I don't have them, but anyways, I'll start with
They're not in your top 5.
yeah, I have
I have Arizona 1.
yep. No, number 5 I
Oh.
actually have. I don't even like this team, but they beat the Saints, the Saints were in all 3 of our power rankings last week in the top 5.
yeah,
They beat the Saints without AJ Brown, without Devonta Smith for the whole game, and Saquon Barkley's him. He's proving that he's still one of the best running backs in the league. So at 5, I have the Eagles, even though I don't even really like them all that much, but I feel like you got to respect it after that victory over the Saints.
Mhm.
And then number 4, I have the Vikings. And the only reason I have the 3 other teams ahead is because of they just have more of a presence in the league. I'll explain once I get into those teams, and I just feel like we've seen teams over the years start 3-0 and start really hot, and then they cool down. Not saying that's going to happen because they do look really good, but I think I need to see 1 or 2 more weeks of this kind of football to put them in the top 3. And then at number 3, I have the Lions, and like Connor kind of said it all. What I saw in the game was just pure dominance of a good football, like over a good football team, and they were also in Arizona, so they just kind of came to the Arizona Stadium and proved that they're one of the good teams in the league, right? So number 2, I have the Bills. Bills have been good all year. They've proven that they don't need Stephon Diggs, and Josh Allen is the pinnacle of their team, and they're doing all of the things that a good football team does with what they have, and they are still missing like Matt Milano. They're still like, who else are they missing? Are they missing anyone else, Con?
Matt Milano, Teron Johnson. He was the second team All-Pro last year. He hasn't played a snap yet this year.
So, even with like holes, that defense is still doing enough to shut down teams, and they shut down Jacksonville completely last week. Their offense looks just as good as ever. They've always had a good offense, but it was always a question like, is their offense going to keep up this year? They're keeping up. So at number 2, I got Bills. Number 1, I just have the Chiefs, and I almost want to put the Bills 1, but the Chiefs have proven time and time again that they'll like, no matter what, they just do enough to win.
They're winners. They're just winners.
Bona fide winners. They are always poised. They don't ever they don't ever let the emotion get the best of them. They don't dwell on certain plays. It's always next play for them, and they just always win. So until proven otherwise, it's the Chiefs at number 1.
Yeah, fair enough.
I agree.
So, yeah.
Cool. Let's look into next week, week 4. Obviously, we're not going to go over every game, but we are doing our little segment, our sleeper and lock.
Yeah.
So, I think I started that last week. So, Jeff, go ahead. Just go with your lock of the week and your sleeper of the week.
All right. So, my lock of the week, I was kind of debating between 2, but it was pretty much a Texas team I was going with. So I'm going to go, my lock of the week is the Houston Texans.
Against the Jaguars?
Yeah. Texans are at home. They just got embarrassed by the Vikings, so they kind of have to redeem themselves after last week's loss.
Quick note, too. I think Jeff has 1 point out of 2 possible points for each person. Last week, I lost my sleeper and my lock.
So did I.
Didn't get either one, and so did Isaac.
Yeah.
But Jeff, you got your lock or your sleeper.
I got my sleeper. I was with the Bucks on the loss.
So I want to throw a little proposal. Since a sleeper is harder to pick, should we give it 2 points?
That's a good idea.
Sure.
So our lock
like
would
that.
just be 1 point, but a sleeper would be 2 points. Okay. So just keep track of your points, obviously. But Jeff's in the lead right now with 2 points. Go ahead, Isaac.
So for my lock, I have KC over the Chargers. Justin Herbert's not going to be playing. I feel
Another
like
divisional game, eh?
I
Another
know, and I did this last week and it screwed me. But there's just no way. There's no way. I'm probably going to be wrong.
It sounds so familiar.
We might as well clip this from last week because we made
Yeah.
a backstage live.
Yeah, 2 days later.
Oh man.
There's no way.
Okay, anyway.
So
Yeah, I agree with you though.
for my sleeper, I'm picking. As much as I don't believe in this team, I feel like this is going to be one of the sloppiest games of the week. Pittsburgh and Indianapolis. I have the Colts beating Pittsburgh. Obviously, Pittsburgh's favored. They're 3-0. Colts are 1-2. They're both abysmal offenses this year, but the Pittsburgh hasn't played a team with a quarterback like Anthony Richardson, and he has looked shaky. But I think I think Jonathan Taylor can do enough to kind of expose a little bit of that defense to kind of get the ball rolling. And I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game by any means, but I just think that's my that's my sleeper. So
All right.
Great. Isaac, we got the same sleeper. I took the Colts as well.
That's it.
I just everything you said, I agree with. I also
not
think
allowed.
it's a trap.
Not allowed. It's mine. It's mine.
No, you're wrong.
If the Indianapolis wins, I get the
You guys
point.
tie.
I'm just joking.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, everything that Isaac just said though, and also it just seems like a trap game. It just seems like a 3-0 Pittsburgh Steelers are gonna go to Indianapolis and lose. That's as simple as that. My lock is the 49ers against the New England Patriots. I don't think 49ers lose. Lose
I
that game.
wanted to pick that one, but then it's like they lost the Rams last week, so like anything can
Yeah,
happen.
but they also lost.
I'm
the
not
week before
I'm not
that
picking
to-
my lock
to
for
Yeah.
49ers
Minnesota.
no more. I learned last week.
No,
Yeah, you did.
I think the 49ers have even the fact that their players are mediocre. I think their coaching is good enough to beat a young, inexperienced New England team.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
49ers
on
is my
paper
lock.
it should be a lock, but I just can't do it.
Yeah.
We'll
They
see
screwed
what
me
happens.
last week.
Let's
So.
see.
Let's go Colts.
shoot.
Big
I for-
Colts next week.
I
so.
forgot to give my sleeper. My sleeper is not the Colts.
Didn't you give your
my-
sleeper?
No, I just gave my lock. I forgot to give the sleeper. My sleeper is the Rams.
Where are Rams playing?
Rams
So
playing
Rams,
Chicago.
they're playing Chicago in Chicago. I'm kind of going off of just what QB I believe in more and what coach I believe in more, which is McVay and Stafford.
Is
so-
Chicago favored?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I know. They're favored by 3, so I'm going the Rams for this one.
That's not bad,
No,
especially after what they did last week, right? So,
yeah. So we'll see what happens.
all right, we'll see what happens.
Alrighty. Jeff has a little bit of a game for us to run through. So
Yes, I do. This one's it might be a little bit challenging, but there's one random name. But pretty much it's going to be name the top 5 pass target leaders so far in the season.
top 5 pass.
Like cast targets.
Yeah, like who's been targeted the most in the season.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay,
top
Con,
5.
you go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. Okay, Rossi Rice, number 1.
He's on the list, but he's number 3.
Okay, I thought he was number 1. I'll
That
take
was
Rossi.
going to be
actually.
my guess, actually.
Yeah.
Targeted, most targets. That's a tough one. Justin Jefferson.
He's not on the list.
That's crazy. Okay.
Nico Collins.
Close. He's 6.
Ah.
I feel like
I gotta think of.
is Deontay Johnson on this list?
He's not on this.
No,
No.
It's been 3 weeks. Yeah, that
It's been
1
3
week
weeks.
was.
Yeah.
but he's
been
been
a 1 week
he's been
wonder.
targeted. Not saying he's had receptions,
Yeah,
but he's
yeah.
been targeted.
No,
Yeah. No,
I gotta-
I gave her a
I
little
gotta
bit.
think about this a little bit. Damn. Targets, eh? Shit. Juwan Jennings.
No, he's
had to.
he's up there, but he's not top 10. He's
Okay.
like 15.
Is Brock Bowers on this list?
Surprisingly, no, he isn't in on
Wow.
this. After last week, it kind of screwed him a bit.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like after
Okay,
week
so-
2 he would have been, but
Yeah. If it helps, all of them are receivers.
okay.
Jamar Chase.
Sorry, who?
Jamar Chase.
No, he's not on the list.
Alvin. Oh, you just said they're all receivers. Never mind.
Yeah. Oh, it's a receiver on the list. Sorry.
Okay.
This is a good. This is interesting.
Yeah, this is tough.
Yeah, it is.
Is Stephon Diggs here?
No.
No, because
Nico's the leader of the Texans. So that
Okay.
helps. He
I
was
figured.
6.
Give me CeeDee Lamb.
Surprisingly, no, he's not on there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mike Evans.
No, he's not on there.
Really?
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith's there.
Yeah.
You got him.
That
Devontae
was,
Smith's
that, was,
number
that was
5.
good. That was good. So you're up 2. I'm at 0.
Yeah. So you got 3 and 5. So you're just missing 1, 2, and 4 now.
Malik Neighbors.
There it is. Yeah.
There we
He's
go.
number 1.
Yeah, he's got.
That's
to be
crazy.
number 1.
I
He
can't
has
believe it took.
37.
Yeah, I can't believe it took us that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's all in the NFC East right there, except for
Yeah.
Rice.
Yeah.
Got 2 more. You can win
Yeah,
it
we
right
got
here,
2 more.
Con.
Let me see. I'm gonna go Chris Olave.
No.
Okay.
I feel like on that offense, Alvin Kamara is still leading.
I know, I thought
He
so
is.
too, but
He
just
is.
because he was
But-
targeted quite a bit last game, so I just didn't.
Yeah. You got to take your shot.
Yeah,
trying to think.
By the way, was Malik the random one?
No, he's not. There's a more random one on here.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like we know him? Like
You
obviously
know
he's
him, but you
probably leading.
yeah, you know him, but it's not someone you would expect given his team.
Okay, that's a hint.
DJ
I like
Moore?
that.
Yeah. DJ Moore 7.
Damn.
That was
that's
close.
a good guess though, Isaac.
That was close.
Because he had that, like, see, Caleb Williams has been throwing it to him like 10 feet
He's
away,
been
but
chucking it to him. Yeah.
This is targets, right? Not catches?
yeah, targets.
Yeah, this is targets. Just
Okay.
catches. Just targets, sorry.
Alan Lazard.
No.
Random
Yeah.
guess.
It
Yeah.
was a random guess. It's in the
After
ballpark.
week
though. I'll
one,
give you
yes.
that. I'll give you that. It's in the ballpark.
Who's been like super pass heavy this year? For targets. Has George Pickens been targeted a lot?
He has, but he's not on here.
No.
Okay, I thought so. I was gonna guess George, but shit. Zay Flowers.
No, not on here.
No.
You guys want another hint?
Up to Isaac.
Here I'll go because yeah,
Okay.
because Con went first, and then if I don't get it, give us another hint. He's had like a lot of the top guys have had like underwhelming seasons, so it's like. It's not. Is it Marvin Harrison?
No.
Okay.
Okay, hint.
All right. So, one of them, the 2 or 4, is one of the top 5 receivers in the league.
Oh, who's the 5th? Because it's Nico Collins, Rashi Rice, Justin Jefferson's in there.
Sorry. Not top 5. Like I'm talking about like top 5 in the draft. Like if you drafted today, like fantasy wise.
Oh,
Yeah.
Reek?
It's not Reed Figure.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Damn.
That was my other guess. I was between him and Marv because Marv's had quite a few targets, but
All right. Now this is a hard one. I don't know if you'll get this one because
okay.
it shocked me.
I
when saw
actually have a guess, but
Quentin Johnson.
No,
is it Andre Ovisis?
no, it's not. No, it's not him. Which he's been playing well. I'm not gonna
He
hate
has,
on it.
and he's been outplaying Jamar in some games, so I wasn't
He
sure.
has, but it's not him though.
I have a guess.
Okay, I'm just gonna guess Amari Cooper, even though it's not Amari Cooper.
It
But
is Amari Cooper.
Oh my god, dude,
It is Amari Cooper.
dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane. How
Yeah.
bad is Deshaun Watson, bro?
Exactly. Exactly.
I was gonna
So,
guess
like, how
Pittman.
is-
I knew it was like I
Yeah,
knew that
dude,
it was gonna
yeah.
be a flyer like that we knew, but like
dude, what a
they just had a
guess!
garbage
Yeah.
quarterback.
I
Dude,
saw
that's
Amari
insane.
Cooper's name on this list. I'm like, how many catches this guy has? Like, I feel like he hasn't done anything all season.
Well, he had like what, 11 catches? Like he had like 12 targets at least last week.
Yeah, but like other than that, I feel like he's done nothing all year, and I'm shocked that he was on this list.
That's a decent list.
Yeah. And then Cooper Cup is 8, considering he's been out for like 2
I was
weeks
thinking
now.
him too, but I was like, "There's no way," because he hasn't. Yeah, that's crazy though, because he did
Yeah,
have that like
but-
12 reception game.
Yeah, he had a crazy game the first week.
11
so-
receptions or like 13, 14 targets. Crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, Amari Cooper was the last one.
Nice.
That's crazy, man. GG Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was clutch.
Well, I feel like we should end it there. That was a good game. Good
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
little segment there, Jeff.
Yeah.
So, alrighty, guys. I'll see you guys next week. I'm happy that we didn't go negative. We haven't gone negative yet. in our
Yeah, we're
know.
still
predictions.
above 5.
I
And,
know.
like-
I'm hoping not this
And
week.
I've like watched a couple of people that like do predictions before the week. Like they literally like Wednesday night will predict all of the weeks. We did it like in the summer, and they went
Yeah, that's
negative.
true.
So
Yeah,
like I
it's just
feel like we're
crazy.
doing pretty good right now, you know.
Yeah, we're not doing bad.
So, alrighty guys, cheers. See you guys next week.
Till next time.